who is 6th in the ACC in kick return average at 21.5. Jack Driggers kicks it away. And this will be Reed from the 2. Reed 20, 25, 30, 35, and the 38-yard line is where Joe Reed pushes Virginia. And here's the young man from Queen Creek, Arizona, James, the electric Bryce Perkins.
The leader of this team in so many ways. He's the best player on this team, the most consistent player on this team. He'll bring some flash and some energy to this Who's squad. Robert Anae, the offensive coordinator, back down on the field with his offense, and he has really made them go. We had him a few weeks ago in that Louisville game where he made a few of those flying leaps over those Louisville defenders. Big difference in that game.
Here's Reed, and now Zacchaeus. Olamide going to throw to the quarterback, Perkins. And he got right about 10 yards before the Blue Devils rallied to the football. Dylan Singleton and Ben Humphreys.
Well, mixing it up a little bit here early, trying to mix in some new faces as well. And there's one of the old standbys, Olamide Zacchaeus, doing it with his arm. Nice little play call on the first play of the game. You get guys with their ears pinned back, trying to go a little bit too fast, run themselves out of position. Take 9 yards any day.
Play fake by Perkins. Little pitch wide side. Zacchaeus trying to get in the game early from a ball handling standpoint. And Duke does a really good job, James. And Michael Carter II, who missed a couple of ball games with injury, number 26 there, the first Blue Devil to meet Zacchaeus for no gain.
Well, it's an interesting play call. I really like the play, and I really like the play of Dylan Singleton to get out there, to recognize, get out there in a hurry, and get it turned back. All they needed was a yard, and they didn't get it. So now a 3rd down and short here to start this game.
Here goes Virginia into the too tight look. And straight ahead, this is Jordan Ellis. And he on the West Campus in Durham. And the home team trailing 7-0. And here's the return for Jonathan Lloyd. Working near side on the return. He'll get to the 20 before he's shoved out of bounds. Boy, James, how about the drive that's brought to you by Jaguar here that culminated in the Perkins touchdown?
A little bit of everything. First play from scrimmage, a reverse throwback to Perkins. And that got it going. In the middle of it, you also had a 3rd and 1 where the offensive line for the Cavs overpowered Duke. And then you also had a little dazzle on the outside with Perkins, a little quarterback lead behind Ellis. A nicely called, nicely executed opening drive for the guys from Charlottesville. Let's see what Daniel Jones and company can do, trying to answer now.
David Cutcliffe trying to get Britton Brown back at running back this week. He does not start the game. Deion Jackson does, and not much. So just a yard for Deion Jackson. And all eyes are going to be on Daniel Jones today, James. Not just because, as you mentioned at the top, a tough history against Virginia, but since the return from that clavicle injury against Northwestern, these are his numbers before and after.
Well, and what's impressed me the most is he certainly hasn't played with like a guy that's had an injured clavicle. Just very physical quarterback.
3 yards there.
To the point, Wes, where we had a talk yesterday with David Cutcliffe, and I asked him, I said, Coach, you know, he's not playing like a guy who missed a couple weeks because he had a broken bone. He said, no, it scares me to death. It scares me to death.
Yeah, kind of hold your breath, right?
Well, here, look at this, walked up. It's almost like a circus look. You've got one guy with his hand in the dirt now on that defensive front for Virginia.
Cavaliers bring the heat. Taylor the catch. He'll be short of the first down, I believe. Forward progress going to be critical on the spot here. And they're showing the 30-yard line. And that is a first down. Wow. Remember that yellow line not official. And David Cutcliffe with a long look.
Oh, it's official. Our guy's the best. Jeff down there, 1st and 10 line. It's official when you're talking about him.
Okay. 1st and 10. Little sweep play from the gun, and boy, Virginia there in a hurry. Big Snowden, the linebacker, along with Tim Harris, the 6th-year senior for the Wahoos.
Well, Mandy Alonso from Miami, Florida, the defensive end. He won't get credit right here, but watch him fight. Just continue to fight to stay outside and to help set that edge and let guys like Harris come over there and help clean up a little bit. Excellent job to keep that outside shoulder pad free, help make the play.
Quentin Harris has come in at quarterback here. Harris going to keep it for the Blue Devils. Snowden rallies to make the stop there. That'll be a gain of 3. And David Cutcliffe.
There you go. That'll work. If you're going to scare me too much, Daniel, I'll put Quentin in there, let him run it when we need to run it. But now you need another big third down pickup. Little different look than that circus look that they had last time on third down.
Yeah, more conventional 4-2-5 here for the Cavaliers. Jones the snap up in the pocket. Daniel spins it and into traffic and overthrown. Looking for Jonathan Lloyd as wide receiver. So Brenton Nelson led the coverage for Virginia, and there's Bryce Hall, who made headlines last Saturday night at Scott Stadium. So 6 plays and now a punt coming for the Blue Devils.
Here's Zandier blitzing. The linebacker picked up, and an offensive line that's been hit or miss does a good job of protecting Daniel Jones there, but he can't find his target. All too high, and so off the field this defense now.
2 return guys are deep, and this is Tavares Kelly backing up inside the 15 to make the catch. Kelly is dangerous. 35, Kelly 40. Tavares Kelly across midfield. Big things sometimes come in small packages, James. And Tavares Kelly's listed at 5'8", 160, but he can make you miss.
And here's why they want to get the football in his hands on the offensive side. It's been all kinds of exciting on special teams for Duke. This is exciting, but not if you're a Blue Devil fan. Kelly just making a couple guys miss, using the speed to get outside and putting his offense in good field position.
Second down 13. Perkins, a quick throw here to the perimeter. Boy, Zacchaeus took a big lick. Behind him was Ben Humphries, but right in the mix was Waters, the sophomore from Delray Beach at safety.
That negative play, you know, you look at that first drive, everything's positive. Everything's positive. Here's a little gain, but after the loss on first down, the negative play, now you're looking at a third down and long, getting behind those chains, getting behind those sticks. You hear it so much from people up in the booth, and it's showing you why a team like Virginia can be so good on third down, because usually on first down they're great.
That's Ellis in motion to join Perkins. They're going to run Jordan Ellis here. And he will pick up 7. Trayvon McSwain trying to help fill the void left by the season-ending injury to Edgar Serenord. In there to make the stop.
Well, what was once an empty set, now you're going to bring Ellis inside. And look at Ellis. 5'10" is what he's listed at. And he brings it pop, powerful, can hide behind those big guys. And here's a 4th down now. 4 of 5. UVA this season on 4th down, but they need a big 3 yards right here.
Zacchaeus in motion. Perkins wants to throw. Quick shot. Dubois the catch. First down, Virginia. Humphries is there. Looked like Leonard Johnson might have also been involved in this, or Brandon Feimster, and a marker has come down as the play was whistled. Jeff McConaughey's the referee today.
After the play is over, personal foul, late hit, offense, number 54, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Ryan Nelson, the redshirt freshman, Buena Park, California, the guilty party, Rebecca.
Well, guys, after that first catch that Dubois didn't catch from his quarterback, he went right over to Bryce Perkins and said, "My bad, man, I misjudged that. It's not going to happen again." So obviously the confidence still there to go back to him.
A little post-scrimmage foul, though, James. Kind of negates the play, to be honest with you.
Well, and had that conversation about Zane Zandier over on the other side of the ball, the linebacker that had a similar penalty against Miami last week. He said it's part of the growth process.
Here's Perkins, hesitated on the throw, and now will keep it for maybe 4 yards on the play. Boy, Trey Hornbuckle's been active. 6 tackles in the loss to Virginia Tech of his 17 on the year, and he's already been on a couple stops today against Mendenhall's Cavalier offense.
Well, and you saw him, you know, frown after the Ryan Nelson, who's a redshirt freshman penalty that cost his team. It's still a fresh set of downs, but Zane Zandier, I asked him about it, a sophomore linebacker. He said, you know, it's just he's at that stage of development. It's unfortunate, but guys like that are prone to violence. Prone to violence. How about that? I think 33 is just that.
Look at Jordan Ellis bouncing. Close to the first down. At the 37, tripped up by Singleton. Duke plays a 4-2-5. The three safeties are the Bandit, the Strike, and the Rover.
Well, like that touchdown run, it's right up the gut. This is Ellis running the football instead of Bryce Perkins here. Just right up the middle, right through the heart of this defense, which is the strongest part of this defense. Those defensive linemen, even though they lost Serenov, very deep on the defensive front. The linebackers are great. They've got to find a way to shut down that run.
Ellis straight ahead, first down. Got to the 36. Giles Harris hit him head on, but not until he had reached the first down mark. James, this is such a fascinating game. We talked about the Coastal at the top. It is chaotic. You got Miami, you got Duke, you got Pittsburgh, you got Virginia in this. I mean, Virginia Tech obviously at the lead at this point. But the scenario is these teams are really, really close, and both these coaches know it.
Right. And close to taking that next step.
Yep.
And when the dust settles, to still be in that conversation that you talked about off the top of the show.
Chris Sharp in the backfield now with Perkins as Zacchaeus moves to a slot. Goes down in 10 for Virginia. Perkins in trouble. First time, and he'll be sacked. And that's Terrell Lucas. Blue Devils are doing a nice job. Matt Guerreri and Ben Albert, the co-DCs, have got the white helmets ready to roll here today on that side of the ball.
They absolutely do. Talked about the depth. Here you're going to see up top, finally getting there. And you know what I like about it is it came, nobody's freelancing. Nobody's freelancing here. There's a nice swim move inside. That was Tangelo. It's Lucas that's finally going to drop him, but it's not one or two guys, and where you've given Bryce Perkins a chance to slip out of there and hurt you. They got hurt by Marshall a couple times last week like that.
Perkins going to take a shot, overthrows Dubois. It'll be third and very long for Virginia. Remember, the Cavaliers had gotten the first down toward the 30-yard line. Post-scrimmage personal foul penalty against the left tackle Nelson pushed him back, and Duke has kind of gotten new life out of that on this possession.
Well, without a doubt, and that big sack there is what you've come to expect this season from this football team. Drew Jordan, KG, the defensive ends, have been phenomenal getting off this spot. Let's see how many they bring here. Just 3.
Third and almost 20. Perkins down the middle with a catch and a big lick put on Dubois. Looked like Giles Harris banged him around pretty good after a 15-yard catch.
Well, Rebecca, this proves your point here. He can trust Dubois now, can he? He's shown him that the last couple passes after that drop, hanging on to this one after the big lick, and it's a 4th down and short, and another try at 4th down coming up here for Bryce Perkins in this offense.
Boy, Virginia has had the ball a lot so far in this first period. Duke's only had one possession lasting 6 snaps. 11th play of this drive for the Cavaliers. Perkins lobbing for Kelly. And broken up, incomplete. Brandon Feimster in coverage for the Blue Devils.
Feimster is going to play a lot today. They're mixing it up with Blackwell. There he is, stride for stride. He's lucky that he didn't get a flag thrown right there. You know, the make-up speed, he runs into it, the ball falls off of his helmet. Sometimes
9.5 minutes of this first quarter as we get you to our, well, thank you, sir, our Aflac trivia question. What 2 teams split the 1989 ACC championship? Oh, might be game appropriate. Second possession for Duke.
Way to give it away, pardon.
Deep shot for Garner. Broken up by the veteran Harris. Jarrett Garner, 6'3", 190, and a freshman north of Charlotte at Harrisburg, North Carolina.
A freshman, 24, Gardner. Coach Cutt told us yesterday he'll get in the game and he'll get a long ball. He can really run and he can go get it. He had it. He's got to be stronger. You got it. Excellent job by Harris to make up and rip those wrists away.
Deion Jackson can't get anything going to the edge. A little extra shove, by the way, going out of bounds. Thornhill was over there, but Cavaliers maybe got one on the house there as Jackson was knocked out of bounds.
West,
third and full.
We talked about it earlier. You know, this is such a big game, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be. I mean, how about the beautifully thrown football by Daniel Jones to Gardner? Harris fighting till the very end to rip it away, not giving up. And then you stuff him on second down. Here's another 3rd and long and a chance for this Cav D to get off the field.
Pressure coming, quick throw, offline for T.J. Ramming. Snowden came uncontested, James, against that Duke front.
Here's the way this Virginia defense confused last week. Look at them bunched up here. There's one guy with his hand on the ground. Okay, go ahead and run it. Who's going? Who's dropping? Look at him. 3 guys coming from this side. That's why even a guy like Daniel Jones, as mature as he's become, the decisions he's made have been so much better. He's rushed there. He's got a guy ramming. That's his go-to guy. But he can't get it to him because he's confused by that blitz. Nick Howell, Kelly Papinga doing a good job of scheming it up.
Austin Parker will punt it far side away from Tavares Kelly. Chuck Davis on the punt return. Davis inside the 40. Another plus territory start for Virginia near Duke's 38. 26-yard return by Davis brings us to our Aflac trivia question. Answer. Where's my man, Batesy? There he is. Okay.
Spin it.
Yep. Spinning it right around. Who won what 2 teams split the '89 ACC title? Virginia, coached by George Welsh. One of his star players, Tony Covington's down doing radio with our friend Dave Kane today for Virginia. And, of course, the Blue Devils, coached by the HBC.
Oh, shoot. All right, my man.
Yeah. Jalen Miller, by the way, is shaken up on the play. On the punt cover unit, that's a look at Miller. Boy, the last thing that Hap Zarzer, the director of sports medicine here at Duke, needs is another injury, huh?
I'll say. David Cutcliffe told us yesterday that it's been a different team each week. What he meant by that was the bodies that were healthy. And here's a guy in Jalen Miller that started the last 2 games. There he is right here. Oh, and he's going to get his ankle rolled up on him. And you know, and you expect that to happen when he's playing his offensive line spot, but out in the open field, he's going to get it caught underneath. And Christian Harris, the 5th-year senior, had been starting in that left tackle spot if he can't go anymore. And so a guy with some experience getting back in there, but also this sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida, Providence High School.
Yep.
That really can play any spot on this offensive line, and one of the tougher guys up there. Boy, this hurts.
Yep.
And this is I think one of the units for Duke that they could be a little bit better. They have been hot and cold. They've had some good moments, but they've also had some moments where you scratch your head and like you wonder what's going on. You got to help your guys out a little bit. And now they lose their starting left tackle. And hopefully it's just not for that long. It's, you know, you hope in that situation it's just an ankle sprain, not that high ankle like A.J. Dillon's been dealing with up at Boston College.
Yeah, we were talking, by the way, about both sides of the ball, offensive and defensive matchups here early, James. Boy, Virginia's made special teams count. They got 70 yards in punt returns on 2 returns here so far. One by Davis of 27, and, of course, Tavares Kelly, a season-best 43 earlier. But it's helped with field position. 2+ territory starts now for the Cavaliers. Earlier, the Duke 45, now at the Blue Devil 38 when Perkins gets over the football.
Yeah, Kelly bettered his previous best by 1 yard. He had a 42-yarder earlier this year as well.
See Bryce Perkins going to work. 7-0 Virginia. Ellis. Brief hesitation, and he'll pick up about 5 on first down. Chris Rumpf, the ACC Rookie of the Week, who went all-world last Saturday in Atlanta, makes the tackle.
Rumpf, a redshirt freshman.
Gainesville, Florida.
Yes, sir. Buchholz High School.
Oh, wait.
I hear they got a pretty good swim team.
Yeah, I hear the swim team is excellent.
There he is. His dad's now coaching at Tennessee. They had a big win last weekend.
What's that lady's name coaching the swim team?
Bates.
Yeah, just checking.
Yeah.
Here's Perkins, gonna cut it loose. Ellis caught it inside the 10 against Leonard Johnson.
Complete to Joe Reed. Leonard Johnson was there.
So Reed the catch. at about the 5 or 6 yard line here.
What a beautifully thrown football. And look at him get that foot down. Here's another playmaker. Here's one of these playmakers. See, controlling the ball, call the catch on the field. They're looking at it, and it's without a doubt he has control. And this is a perfect example why, as a receiver, you got to give yourself some cushion on that sideline. You got to have somewhere to fade to.
Jordan Ellis, Giles Harris fought all the way through, and about the time Jordan Ellis got the handoff, he hit Jordan Ellis. So after the big throw to Reed, Virginia operates in the CPI security red zone, where the Cavaliers have 12 touchdowns in 24 possessions coming in, James. 71% scoring opportunity, and that'll be the final play of period 1. Well, Virginia has the lead on the scoreboard and a significant lead in time of possession. Cavaliers have got 2 big special teams plays. Plus Q2, our Red Lobster game summary. Oh, look at the total yards, James.
Wow. Virginia had it 11 minutes, 7 seconds in the first 15 minutes, the first quarter. And they'll start it here, knocking on the door.
Perkins, a keeper. And spun around and dropped by Derek Tangelo. 2nd and goal coming up for the Wahoos, who are on their 3rd possession. Bronco Mendenhall. He and David Cutcliffe, we talked about this with Steve Adazio last week. Teams that personify the coach's personality, right?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And Nick Howell, his defensive coordinator, said, I'll give you an example. The day after our first practice, after we got back, after beating Miami, he had them sprinting like you wouldn't believe, covering kickoffs, which is, you know, you'd think you'd rest them up a little bit. It wasn't the case. Keeping that pedal to the metal, trying to keep it on here and put it in the end zone again.
3rd and goal. Perkins looking for the pylon. I think he got in. Touchdown, Virginia. The brief hesitation, James. Did that clear the path going to the corner?
Oh, I think so. And I mean, it's not like it was a designed run, and that's what he can do to you. You feel like you got him stopped. You got him all covered. And watch, you're going to have Ben Humphries, who's a heck of a linebacker. He thinks he's got the right angle. Changes all of that and doing an excellent job of fighting to stick it in at the very end. Ball coming out is not going to matter because it crossed the plane. They will take a look at it, especially on a scoring play. They look at all the plays, but I really don't think there's anything to think that would even be close to being overturned. And how about that? Early in the 2nd quarter, and Virginia just putting it on Duke, offensively and defensively, to start this game.
Well, the 2 punt returns, one by Kelly, the other by Davis, have set up opportunities, and the Chuck Davis punt return now the point after from Delaney, and Virginia's got a 2-touchdown advantage here in Durham. 14-0 in the Coastal Division back after this.
He's had as a head coach. I think he may be most proud of what he did right here in Durham with the Duke Blue Devils. And it really is fun to see, and it's I'm glad they were able to incorporate that into the broadcast today.
Well, look at here now. Sugar Bowl, Superdome. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Huh? What's he saying there, huh?
I'm not sure. He looks like he's pretty proud for the first time maybe in my whole career.
He liked the defensive guy one day, huh?
All right, Batesy, my man. Shoot. It's not your fault. It's our fault for putting you in there. He's not saying that there, fortunately.
Hey, good thing you got to wear 44, right?
Oh, yep.
Here's Jones. Duke trying to find a way to get started offensively, and they'll pick up a couple. Little smoke pass out in the flat to Ramming. Well, TJ Ramming was big last week. 4 catches, 91 yards. The big 3rd and long conversion against the Jackets in Atlanta. And Duke right up over the football.
Right, and keeping them in front, though, defensively, keeping them in front. What a big drive this is for Jones in the offense.
There's another throw. Ramming inside from the left side, and he'll get to the 30. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Now, one thing that the hurry-up does, it doesn't give Virginia an opportunity to get too exotic with all these blitzes. Look, they're going to catch them changing right here. Jones wants the ball. They're supposed to have a chance now to match it. There was no official there to match, and I don't know even if Duke substituted.
Prior to the snap, timeout, Virginia.
That's why Duke did not substitute. Virginia did, so Bronco Mendenhall knows he's got to burn a timeout and got it pulled there.
So here's the chess match that we have going on right now. You've got, okay, so here there was nobody now. Everybody over the football. You have to, if there's a substitution coming from the Duke sidelines, there will be an official standing over, holding the football so the defense can match. Wasn't the case. Bronco burns the timeout. But here's the chess match now that's going on. Okay. We haven't been able to solve what they're doing for us defensively when we huddle up, when we take time coming to the line, when they can change it. Because one thing that Nick Howell, the defensive coordinator for Virginia, and Bronco and Kelly Papinga, they've done is they almost have these personnel groupings like you would on offense.
Yeah.
Hey, this personnel, and it's to where they'll have tendencies and whatnot. Well, they've got to get those different units in to do some of the exotic stuff that they've tried to do. So if we go hurry up, we can keep them on their heels, and they won't be able to mix it up quite as much. They tried to do it there, and it helps them out, but what are they going to do on 3rd down and 5? Got to stay on this football field.
Jones, the throw, and dropped. And that was Helm, the tight end, redshirt senior. Top of the line there for the Blue Devils at the tight end chart.
That's the guy, and that's a sure thing. Usually you've got it drawn up. He hooks it up right there at the sticks. It would have been a 1st down.
Wow.
And I mean, it's a guy in Helm, too, that they weren't sure they were going to have him go today, that he was going to be healthy. Oppenhaver, Gray, some pretty good tight ends, but costly there.
2 guys back again. They've been playing games in this punt return. It's worked out. And Davis, the ball got jostled loose. There'll be a flag. I think Chuck Davis was interfered with on the catch. And I believe the flag is going to be for kick-catch interference here on the Blue Devils. If it's not, that ball was live, but recovered, I believe, by Virginia. And Jeff McConaughey, this crew, will sort it out for us.
Kick-catching interference, kicking team. Number 52. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Well, you're helping them out, a team that you haven't been able to stop offensively. And, you know, it's interesting when you've got one guy throwing someone off and you've got
to the beach. Perkins in the pistol. Virginia, again, very good field position. And the throw is caught in traffic, Zacchaeus. And I think that was Feimster hanging all over him. Boy, good coverage, and boy, Perkins threaded the needle there. 4th catch for Alameda.
And I'll say this early on, and not just here, but how many spots on this field go back to the 3rd and 1? 50-50 balls. Who wants it more? Who's the tougher football team right now in this first half? Goes without saying. The Virginia Cavaliers, score aside, play after play, they continue to scrap.
Perkins, a little play fake to Ellis. Now in trouble, and he'll throw it out of bounds. Boy, the black shirts were collapsing around Bryce Perkins. Boy, plays with a ton of poise, James, does Perkins. Junior college transfer, started his career at Arizona State.
Well, the fastest guy on the team, pound for pound, the strongest guy on the team, and just exactly what they needed, what they were looking for when they went looking to run this offense. Taysom Hill back at BYU that Bronco and Robert and I had, you know, after that Texas game where he really came on the scene. And all these coaches were calling, this guy's like Thor. He's not a quarterback, so that's why they call Bryce Perkins the new position as a quarterback.
Free play. Going to take the shot. Terrell Jana downfield. Couldn't hang on. Incomplete. Or Ubasi. Beg your pardon. 88
Offside.
is Ubasi, who was a 6-foot freshman from Baltimore.
That's the 2nd time Duke's gotten away. You're going to see the jump, so it's a free play. They'll get it back with that flag. But again, these Duke defenders have got to be careful. There's 2 flags that I don't know that many people would have questioned if the flag was thrown, because they're not playing the ball as much as they are just playing that receiver. No flag down the field, though, so it's not the big one. They do get 5.
Here's Zacchaeus in trouble. Humphreys, the first Blue Devil there, and then the rest of Duke arrives. Drew Jordan, 86, involved.
Here's a perfect example. Watch Ben Humphreys. We saw him earlier on the 2nd touchdown of the day. for Bryce Perkins. He thought he had the right angle. You know, Zacchaeus can fly. Look, Ben Humphries is a good linebacker. He takes that angle. He does not get that angle messed up by the speed of the offensive player, and it's one of the fastest guys on the field, but Bryce Perkins changed all that.
Big play here, James.
Oh, without a doubt.
You see the third down numbers for Virginia, who came into the ballgame number 2 in the ACC at 48%. And off the pad, Dubois tried to haul it in, and now a flag with Feimster defending Hassis Dubois.
Pass interference, defense. Number 31, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Wasn't sure they were going to get it. It came a little late. Feimster thought he had the stop. Here's the end of a good protection for Perkins. That's a ball that's thrown high. It's, oh, man. He should have kept that one in his pocket, I feel like. That's...
Penalty was announced against Blackwell. It's actually against Brandon Feimster.
Well, and it came from an angle where it's all you can see is the back of Feimster, so you're really not sure. Obviously not a reviewable play, and one that really hurts Duke. You're going to get off the field, or at least a team that's gone for it now a couple times on 4th down, get them to go for it on 4th and medium. Instead, it's a fresh set of downs at the 25-yard line.
Yep. 14-0 Perkins and the Cavaliers convert on the penalty. Play fake to Ellis. Little rollout looking for Zacchaeus. Incomplete. I think Bryce knew it as soon as he cut it loose. Leonard Johnson was on stride with Olamide Zacchaeus, Rebecca.
Guys, Perkins told me after last week's win against Miami he could have and should have done more. He praised kicker Brian Delaney's performance, but said from here on out, when we get into the red zone, we need touchdowns. There's no excuse for otherwise, and you saw he made it happen on that last drive, guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, after what Brian Delaney did last Saturday night, they're going to give him a room on the lawn as a sophomore. My heavens, 3 big field goals, including a 46-yarder against the Canes. Ellis on 2nd and long. Man, he got almost 7 yards, James, before Axel Niembwe, the sophomore from outside Bethesda, Maryland, and Derek Tangelo made the play. There's Axel, great name of a football player. Robert and Nye got the readers on, little beard going for the Kahuku Red Raider, right?
Red Raider for life. Trying to call it up here on 3rd down and short. And he's got a guy in Ellis on that last run. He was big down the stretch here in the CPI red zone.
Ellis, and I think if he gets to the 15, he'll have it. Tangelo again the stop. Well, when they lose Edgar Serenord to the Achilles last week in Atlanta, Duke had to find their next guy up because Serenord did so many things for Cutcliffe's defensive front. And I mean, he was a captain, he was the emotional leader, he was a redshirt senior. And Tangelo's a passionate guy. They're kind of looking at him. Hornbuckle off to a good start here today. But here's Virginia coming up short on the 1st down. And Delaney to try a 33-yarder. He's perfect in his career. And this one is no good. So the 33-yarder is on the West Campus here in Durham. Rainy, soggy Saturday, week 8 in the ACC, and Daniel Jones and Duke go to work. Deion Jackson, the running back today. Britton Brown still sidelined for David Cutcliffe. And Taylor tried to come back and make the catch, and it's ruled incomplete at the 48. The ever-present Joey Blunt, the free safety for the Cavaliers in coverage.
It's a delayed blitz by Zandier up at the front end, and again, here's another drop. Another drop, and there's the big hit on Zandier. He's not letting up at all. He got called for that late hit last week.
There's Deion Jackson, James, on 2nd down, picking up about 5. Charles Snowden. Well, it was interesting. You know, 3 years ago, when we first started covering Virginia a little bit in our package, you said when Bronco Mendenhall's defense gets tuned up, they'll be flying from everywhere. They're tuned up now.
That's what you had in Provo, Utah. Yeah. That's absolutely what you had. It's a disciplined bunch as well. Here you go. You got another look where you've got one guy with his hand in the dirt. Let's see how many they bring. 5.
Catch that time. That's Noah Gray. Best offensive play for Duke so far to the Blue Devil 43-yard line. 13-yard throw there.
There you go. So it was a blitz this time. It was some guys backing out and bringing some extra guys, but you curl up that tight end in gray, and it's off to the races, and a big, big first down pickup. Good job by Daniel Jones to know where he's going.
Jackson trying to get to the front side, and not much, maybe a yard there. Tackle made by Mandy Alonzo, among others, for Virginia, Rebecca.
Yeah, Wes, you already mentioned Britton Brown not starting, Deion Jackson getting that start. He told me that the key for him getting comfortable in this role happens in the first few drives of the game. He says you got to set the tone early and adjust to the game and the speed of this game from the onset, which he didn't really have to do coming off the bench.
Well, and now Deion Jackson going to get it again, and he can't get away as Snowden wrestled him back. And Duke's having a hard time. The Blue Devils came in 11th in the league in rushing. And 13th, James, in conference play at 84.5 yards. They're having a hard time running the ball on this Virginia front.
Well, and they're having a hard time of picking up, not just in passing situations, but here you see it in running situation as well. Where are they coming from? Where are they lining up? It's odd just by calling it a three-man front, but it's extra odd when you got all these different positions lined up.
Jones is going to run with it. He'll have the first down and then slide down in Virginia territory at the Cavalier 41-yard line. So the 6'5" redshirt junior from Charlotte just does it on his own.
Well, when they need him the most, back-to-back third downs, he stands in there strong, hits his tight end the last time. This time, he hits it out, moves those chains, and a slide. Coach Cutt likes to see that as well.
Wants to look deep, throws deep, and it is intercepted. Juan Thornhill again. 4th of the year for Thornhill.
They try to go with the big hitter, and it's just really thrown up there for grabs, hoping that Lloyd can run underneath it. The captain, the senior receiver, Jonathan Lloyd, but Thornhill had other plans, just doing a good job at his safety spot, not trying to do too much. Isn't that right, Rebecca? Rebecca had a good talk with him this week, and he said, you know what? I was trying to do too much, and when I finally listened to the coaches, I started making plays just like that. They started falling in my lap.
Much less effort now.
After the turnover, Ellis, yard to the 21. McSwain the tackle. Daniel Jones, though, this will be his 8th career interception of 23 total on Virginia.
Just the 3rd pick he's thrown this season, and the 8th now in 2.5 games against this defense. You know, and that one right there has nothing to do with confusing Daniel Jones. He launches it up there hoping that he can get his receiver to run underneath it, but it's just disciplined football being played by the Cavs.
Perkins thought about Kelly. Now Bales here to the near side, and Dubois pulls it in just shy of the first down, though, to 28. Feimster there on the stop. 3rd catch already for Hassis Dubois, the junior from Irvington, New Jersey, who had 4 catches for 32 yards last week.
Jones in this offense, finally something good going their way. You get a little bit greedy and try to launch it down the field and strike quick. Instead, comes back to bite him. Can the defense get off the field here one more time? Force a punt.
Perkins again on the move, and almost picked by Leonard Johnson. So Duke responds to the interception. It's a 3-and-out, James, for Virginia.
Absolutely, and again, another good blitz pickup. The offensive line has done a good job for Perkins, buys a little bit more time. Come on, Leonard, you were a receiver in high school back in Hayden, Alabama. Catch that one, take it to the house, help the offense out a little bit.
T.J. Ramming going to wait on Lester Coleman's punt.
Johnson actually had a pick-6 against Baylor in his first start back in that big win on the road in Waco a couple weeks ago for the Blue Devils.
Flags down. Wobbly kick. Ramming, boy, takes a big Virginia bounce. TJ fields it on the hop and breaks the 20, I believe, on the return, but the marker was thrown at the line. The punt is 53 yards.
Excellent job covering there by the punt covering unit for Virginia. Nick Grant getting down on the stop.
Virginia procedure.
Illegal formation in offense. 5 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
They can punt it again, especially with that field position.
Well, after the top spin on the bounce, right?
And a lot of things that can go wrong when you're out there punting the football. Make them snap it, make them catch it, get it off again. I hope you get a little bit better field position than that. It's been a nightmare as far as field position goes today for David Cutcliffe.
Yep. TJ Ramming get another chance here. Virginia overloads to the wide side on their cover. Coleman ramming on the fly at the 39. It's already a better spot. Now's a flag thrown near the middle of that area in the punt cover, and that's usually a block in the back, and ramming gets to midfield. 38-yard punt, so they bought themselves 15 yards right off the jump, and then a 12-yard return.
Holding. Return team number 32. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
That'll push it to the access. After the penalty, Duke starts off its 29. Still a 14-0 Virginia lead. Jones on a bootleg. Being flushed and throws it away. Cavaliers got after him, and it was Matt Gamm, the linebacker, that got out into space. And the Blue Devils have only got 57 yards of offense, James, as it's 2nd and 10.
You know, you're seeing a defense last Saturday night. Look at all the turnovers that the offense for Virginia had, but they always had an answer. They've had a lot of answers for this Duke offense as well here today.
Taylor. And taken down after about 6 yards. 35-yard line. Sandier and Brenton Nelson, James.
There you go. Driving him out of the way there. Still a nice stick.
Blitz coming. Quick throw. Caught. 1st down ahead of Thornhill, and that's Daniel Helm, the tight end.
Can you put together a drive? How big would this be for Duke that has really been on the bad side, if you're a Blue Devil fan, this entire 1st half? To put together a drive and punch it in the end zone here before halftime would be huge.
Jones is going to keep it. They had both quarterbacks in the lineup there. James, in fact, both are still in. Quentin Harris and Daniel Jones are both in the package here with Deion Jackson for Cutcliffe.
Harris is a guy that can definitely run. Here he'll switch it up now on the left side of Daniel Jones. He did an excellent job. He's 2-0 as a starter. He filled in when Jones had the broken clavicle.
There goes Deion Jackson. It'll be 3rd down and about 3 or 4. Chris Peace, the redshirt senior at the will linebacking spot in the 34 of Virginia, the tackle there. 33rd career start today for Chris Peace, by the way.
They'll hold him over the ball. This time Virginia gets all their personnel in there. 3rd down, mixing it up again.
Jones looking to throw. Now going to run with it. 1st down. Diving toward the Cavalier 46-yard line.
It's been one of their best plays of the day. The blitz is coming up top and almost gets there in Peace, but a little too late as he reaches out there, and big long Daniel Jones just enough to keep those chains moving, keep the drive alive.
Jones will keep it again, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Thornhill came in, the saber safety, if you will, the strong safety for the Cavaliers. And the more Daniel Jones runs with it, the deeper breaths David Cutcliffe takes, I think.
Yeah. James made the right read there, but so did Juan Thornhill. Made the read to go make the play.
Flip to Ramming. Needs a block. Got one on the edge. Picks up 5. It'll be 3rd and 5. Zandier the tackle.
Zane Zandier's fun to watch. Sideline to sideline. That is...
Oh, come on. He's got the cowboy collar. You like him already. Then the eye black. It just...
all the above. Guys like that are prone to violence, Bronco Mendenhall says. What do they got for him, though, here on 3rd down and medium now?
Jones from the pocket. Flushed out again. He'll keep it. Flag is thrown. He'll be short of the first down. And it looks like holding is the preliminary indication from at least in front of the Virginia bench.
It's again another good play by Zandier, and Harris is going to go backwards for Duke. But to just get enough of Jones to make sure he doesn't get that first down, even if the flag hadn't been thrown, still wouldn't have made the sticks. Nice job in open field.
There are multiple fouls on a play. Holding, offense, number 65. That penalty's declined. Holding, offense, number 25. 10-yard penalty, 4th down. Correction, 3rd down.
Third and long after the penalty.
Entire sidelines of Virginia jumping around like they're at a European soccer game. I mean, there's an energy on that sidelines right now it's really infectious for these guys out on the field. Let's see if they can make a big play here.
Jones trying to get away from Peace. Cannot. Cavaliers drop it. Chris Peace again behind the line. He came in leading the ball game in tackles for loss for Virginia and in sacks, James. And a Virginia timeout with under 2 minutes to go.
He's just a whole lot of want to. This time he missed him on the 3rd down try where Jones, he was chasing behind on the blitz. This time the senior linebacker wrestles him down.
Well, they've got 2 touchdowns, James, but Virginia's defense has been very tough in the first half.
No, without a doubt. And they're fun to watch. Hard-hitting, disciplined bunch. And I wouldn't want to be an offensive coordinator or an offensive lineman quarterback, for that matter, trying to dissect them and figure out what the heck they're doing. There's the interception by Juan Thornhill, who continues to be such a ball hawk, had the 2 interceptions in the win over Miami last week, and a Miami football team on the road up in Charlottesville that could not find an answer for this defense. And Duke has to feel about the same way right now as we're under 2 minutes left in this first half, a first half that has belonged to the Cavaliers.
Again, 2 guys, and Parker kind of slices this one toward the Duke side, and it'll be downed at the 23. There was Tavares Kelly standing in the middle of the field, and Chuck Davis was over there on the numbers in front of the Virginia bench. And so now, James, 1 timeout, 14-0. And Bryce Perkins and the Cavaliers get the ball. I mean, they've had great field position in the first half. This is at the Virginia 24. Boy, this is a big possession now, because Virginia's had command of this opening half. And this 6th possession starts at the 24, but only 1 timeout left and a 2-touchdown lead.
Duke will get the ball to start the second half. They want to make sure they're only trailing 14, though.
Look at Ellis. That's almost 10 on first down.
I think this has been the biggest surprise to me here today. I thought that the front 7 for Duke, really on tape, they looked better. Virginia Tech couldn't run on this team. Virginia Tech had a really tough time running the football on this squad. They've really run at will right up the gut of this defense. These big defensive linemen and these great linebackers all day long.
Perkins, quick throw, that's Reed. First down. Clock will stop with 1:08. They'll move the chains. Virginia has 1 timeout left, I'm sure. Now timeout taken by Jeff McConaughey.
Yeah, Humphreys is down.
Yeah, he was shaking up the play before, James. Ben Humphreys, the linebacker, and he tried to stay in, but evidently cannot go here. And so yet another injury for these Blue Devils. And Ben Humphreys is a good one. Senior from Newport Beach, California. Member missed the back end of last year with an injury for Duke. Now, this is 2 snaps ago. This is not the last play, the catch by Reed. This is the play prior to right here. He got up hobbling, but was staying in the game. You see him doesn't put any leverage on it at all in getting off the ground there after the run by Ellis. Boy, they're looking at the right below the left knee, it looks like.
I hope he's okay. All these linebackers. It's fun to watch good linebacker play. We've seen it on both sides of the ball. He's been a blast to watch throughout his career. His teammate Joe Giles Harris and guys like Chris Peace and Zane Zandier over on the other side. So hopefully find a way to get back out there.
Sander Gagnon's going to come in the ball game. Another red shirt out of Charlotte. He wears 41 as Humphreys comes to the sideline. So Virginia's got the first down. Clock starts now as ball is set for play with 1:03 to go. Perkins in the gun as we go to 1 minute left in this first half. And Bryce on the loose. Going to throw it. He threw it ahead of the line of scrimmage. It was incomplete, and Perkins took a big lick in the process. Now the flag is in the middle of the field.
They're all over, actually.
There's one over across the field, and that usually is where the ball was thrown ahead of the line of scrimmage. And Jeff McConaughey's group's got to sort out a lot here.
Well, Perkins, not only does he throw it a couple yards past.
Ineligible. That's declined. Illegal forward pass.
He throws it a couple yards. It's like he just took a play off mentally. And he threw it 100 miles an hour from about 5 yards away.
There is no foul for an eligible player downfield. Illegal forward pass. Offense. Offense number 3. 5-yard penalty. Loss of down. Second down. We'll have a 10-second runoff. Please reset the game clock to 46 seconds. 46 seconds on the game clock.
And then Perkins, I think, took a big lick after he cut it loose, right?
Well, here's the end of it.
And that's Gagnon, who just came in the game.
Trying to get a quick lick in, and Perkins looked like he was injured, but he's right back up at it and handing the ball off.
Yeah, there's Jordan Ellis. Oh, that's tough running.
Yeah.
To midfield. Giles Harris the stop. 10 yards for Jordan Ellis, who runs with that forward lean about him, James.
Well, and this was an offensive line that played exceptionally well against Miami. Dylan Rinkensmeyer figure out, go down and lose to North Carolina. There's Ellis getting helped off the field. Hopefully he's okay. Man, he's had a lot to do with these last couple games, especially that Miami game. It was such a big difference there in the second half. Just able to run the football north and south. Nothing else matters but just hammering it home. Falling forward, get me 3, get me 4, get me 8.
Lamont Atkins, by the way, will check into the ball game. Sophomore from Northern Virginia at the running back spot for the Cavaliers. 1 timeout and 3rd down for Bronco Mendenhall's team. You see they're 50%. That's just above their ACC number of 48 coming in. And there's a throw. That's an incomplete pass or caught. One referee said, or one official said incomplete, and the other one said
he hung on, Wes. It's all about,
calling it now incomplete.
Ball again. He secures the football. If we can get another angle, we can see that foot. He secures it as soon as it hits his hands. All right, here we go. So watch that right foot. It's a catch. Toe's still on the ground. That's a catch.
And here comes the official stopping play for review. And so José Dubois, who already has had a pretty nice first half with 3 catches, this potentially would be his 4th.
And the fact that he went out strong with those hands, didn't try to catch it against his body, it's even more proof that that it's in his grasp, and so they are reviewing it now as they stop this play, and that's a it's an excellent job to keep that foot down. And Rebecca gave you the report earlier from the sideline. He went over to Perkins, hey, I got you, man. I'm still your guy, and he certainly has been ever since that drop. I mean, you even see the grass kick up well after he's got it in his grasp. So offensively, Virginia probably should be ready to, rather than sending the punt team out there, have a play drawn up, 26 seconds left for a first down rather than fourth down. Who is this, Wes? This cameo?
It is. Wow. Larry Blackman from Fayetteville, North Carolina, the lead center.
After further review, we have a completed catch. The receiver completed the process of the catch, got his right foot in. Result of the play is a first down. The ball we placed at the 37-yard line. First down.
All right, now Bronco Mendenhall, remember, is now out of timeouts with 26 seconds left. So given all of that, now at the college level, of course, the clock stops after first downs.
Well, and even though they've got a kicker in Delaney that's 0 for 1 in this game, they've got a guy that they've got a little bit of faith in, so if they can get up there and field position, but they're going to need that clock to stop.
Perkins to his right. Now going to run with it. That's trouble. He'll slide down at the 33. The clock continues to run. Virginia's got to get to the line and spike it to stop the clock. We go inside 10 seconds. And there's the spike with 6. And this would be somewhere in the neighborhood of about 51 yards. 52 perhaps for Delaney. And that would be 6 ahead of his career, which was 46 last Saturday night against Miami. So it's going to be 51, so 5 and change.
Hit
51 yards.
26, 46, and 32 in the Miami win.
Into the first half. And stepping out of the back of the end zone after fielding the miss was Waters, the safety. So the halftime score, Virginia got touchdowns in 2 of their first 3 possessions. So the Cavaliers get on the board with a Perkins run of 23 yards and then another one of 3 early in the second period. And so far that has that's been enough for the Cavaliers because they've been really good on defense, James.
Well, I think if you're in that Duke locker room, you're lucky to be sitting at just 14 down right now, especially getting that ball to open up the second half. You'll receive.
And there'll be no return of the kick from Delaney. So Duke will start from its 25, and not a very pleasant first half for Daniel Jones in the offense.
No, and you heard David Cutcliffe talk about we need to block better and we need to block longer. You need to stay on blocks in that run game. You need to help them out a little bit. Speaking of helping out, hang on to these footballs. Too many drops. Even Helm dropped one. What would have been a first down, and there's Thornhill with his 3rd pick in 2 weeks and a whole half to play. So let's see what Duke draws up here and start the second half.
Quick throw, and this is Taylor. First down and more. Chris Taylor almost to midfield. Joey Blunt shoves him out of bounds.
That'll work.
22-yard play. That'll work.
It will. And you know, it's, hey, Coach Cut said to Rebecca, hey, you know, we've got a whole half to play. And they're in this football game. I mean, 14 points, a quick strike here, and you cut it in half. But so much of it, I think, hangs on this opening drive.
Here's Jones keeping it and diving for about 7 yards before Robert Snyder, the linebacker. There's a look at 22, the sophomore from Lawrenceville, Georgia.
Snyder's a junior. He described Bronco Mendenhall as Zandier and Snyder both as reckless. Reckless backers.
Jones cuts it loose. And short of Jonathan Lloyd, who was wide open at the 40.
There's Lloyd down there all by himself. Everybody leaves him, bailing out. Some miscommunication there, Bryce Hall. And they dodge a bullet, though, so it's third down after the incomplete pass with the pressure coming in around Daniel Jones.
Jones in stride, Taylor. Touchdown. That was a bullet, Batesy. Seconds gone in the second half, and Duke's in the end zone.
President Taylor hanging on. The senior from Miramar, Florida. Student Athlete Advisory Committee president the last 2 years. Putting the Blue Devils on the board. Boy, did they need that in a big way.
Colin Wareham punches the point through. Well, you said a moment ago, split it in half with a score, and that's what they've done.
And it's a quick strike. And the angle that we saw earlier, Juan Thornhill, watch the eyes of the quarterback and know what they're trying to do with the interception. And here, it's just a fly, and he hits him right in the middle of that zone. And Thornhill, or Blunt rather, takes a bad angle. You can see from his safety spot, he's got to get ground and get deep right now, immediately as he's passed off to that next level of the zone. And a good job threading the needle by Daniel Jones, putting it on the money and putting Duke on the board.
First touchdown catch of the year for Chris Taylor. Wow. By the way, the scouting report on Taylor features the phrase vertical speed. James.
There you go. Check.
Truth in advertising. So now Jack Driggers to kick it away. Kelly and Keir are deep. And this will be the dangerous Tavares Kelly. Kelly trying to find the cutback. Taken down inside the 15. Little momentum play in the coverage unit for the Blue Devils. Javon Jackson there. And now Bryce Perkins gets the ball back. Brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers.
Nope. Covering some ground. 2 touchdowns for Bryce Perkins. Running it both times. Quarterback lead the first time, and it's just an all-out sprint, beating Zane Zandier to the corner. Looks like he's got a mouse in his shirt or something over there, squirreling around afterwards.
So Virginia off its 13. The sophomore Winchester, Virginia. This is P.K. Keir in the backfield. Nice run. Carter made the stop, 13-yard run.
Well, change up the backs. Jordan Ellis, we saw him leave the game there late in the first half. His counterpart over there on the other side, Ben Humphreys, still out. So a couple big players on both sides of the football right now missing, but Keir picking right up where they left off.
Just his 7th carry of the year a moment ago. There's number 8 on the season. Just had 6 carries for 27 yards, and well, he's already doubled. He's already cut that number in half and then some on 2 takes here.
Well, and carries 1 and 2 in this game, very similar to what you get out of Ellis. North and south, full speed ahead.
Chris Sharp into the backfield with Perkins here for a big 3rd down play. Or 2nd down play, rather. 6 to a first down off the 30 for Virginia. And that is Sharp. Giles Harris, the first Blue Devil there, but boy, Virginia just won't go down. Sharp drives the stack. It'll be a first down. They measure the progress, Rebecca, to the 38 for the Cavaliers.
And guys, a quick injury update on linebacker Ben Humphreys. He is here on the sideline. He is warming up over here, and he's been doing some agility drills. He came back out with a brace on his left knee. So we talked to the team trainer, and he said he should be back out there in this game. That's good news for Duke.
Oh, absolutely. So after the first down run by Sharp, pistol set with Keir back in the ball game. And hit right at the handoff point. Giles Harris.
It wasn't very often in that first half, but when they got this offense back on their heels, it was because that first down went backwards. Here's a negative play. Nobody touches Joe Giles Harris. You better find 44. He's the leading tackler on this defense, top 5 in the ACC. Nobody puts a hat on him, and he quickly puts a hat on the back, and it's a loss of 2. Make it 1, so second down and 11 for Robert and I's offense here.
Now 2-by-2 look for the Cavaliers. Perkins, Zacchaeus, and got banged around as he approached the 45 by Michael Carter again, Rebecca.
Guys, it must be Joe Giles Harris's lucky socks. His mom buys him a goofy pair at the beginning of every season. He wears the same pair of socks every single week during the pregame meal and on the team's double walk into the facility. It is the...
Give me to Wallace Wade outdoor. And Bryce Perkins out of the break. Moving around on third down, looking for room. And now, improvises and completes it to Peacock. What a play.
Wow. How about the headiness? They talk about it, especially in basketball. You hear about guys talking about how the hoop feels so big, the game slows down. How slow must this game feel for Bryce Perkins? Just effortless, trying to direct. He actually, the first guy tried to get him, hey, move 4 yards down the field so I can throw it to you for a first down instead. And you got guys like Peacock moving, going with their quarterback, trying to help him out. Duke thought they had him stopped.
Man, that was go to the 4 and take a left, wasn't it? Here's Perkins again, keeping it near side. And a flag thrown as Perkins goes out of bounds. And now a second flag has come in play. Looks like a hold on Virginia, at least on one of the markers. Jeff McConaughey.
Holding, offense, number 2, 10-yard penalty. First down.
Out on the edge there, it's Reed. Here's where they call him. He's definitely got him locked up around the shoulder pad. He lets go, but a little too late. And you got to keep those hands inside, especially if you're going to try to get away with a little hold. You can't have it out there for the world to see. So a nice play call. Taking it back the other way now. So a first down and 9 after they walk it off.
P.K. Kier is the running back in the pistol with Perkins. Play fake. Bryce trying to throw, now evades the pocket. And Jordan chases him out of bounds. Right around the 20 or right around the 33-yard line.
He's such a big body that you don't, it's definitely a deceptively fast, the speed of this quarterback. It's, again, he breaks down that angle. You look like he's going to be stopped maybe for a 1-yard gain. Instead, he turns it into 4 or 5. Just able to get to that edge and changing up those speeds, too.
Cole Blackman's come in as a wide receiver, top of the screen for Virginia. 9th play of the drive. Little swing pass, Zacchaeus. Boy, nice help out block from Reed there on Humphreys. And that'll be enough for the first down for Olamide Zacchaeus. And Rebecca noted that Humphreys trying to get back in the ball game. He's playing with a brace on. You'll see the block here.
Fighting through, and then Humphreys actually had run through the block of Reed. Beat him, and then a good job of catching back up and knocking him down. And then Humphreys called over to the sidelines. You know, got to think maybe that knee was still bothering him a little bit too much. Good hustle play by the receiver.
Perkins on a keeper, a couple of yards to the 25. James, 14-7 game. Duke got the TD pass. Jones to Chris Taylor. Virginia's trying to answer back. Bronco Mendenhall. This attests to kind of where this team is, not just today, but maybe this year, right?
Oh, without a doubt. And it's, you know, I mean, they're not going anywhere. You're going to get, out of this football team right here, Bronco Mendenhall, you're going to get 4 quarters of football, whether they're up by 20, tied, or down by 20. That's one thing. There's a lot of things you can't guarantee in the ACC this year. That's one thing that I would put my money on.
Kyer and Zacchaeus in the pistol here with Perkins. They hand it to PK Kyer. Look at that. They blew the whistle, and now we get a little pushing and shoving to Marcus Applefield, the grad transfer at the tackle spot. A little overzealous maybe to the echo of the whistle.
That's part of this rivalry. I mean, and it really is a rivalry for these guys. I was talking with Dave Harding, who was a part of some really good football teams for Coach Cut back in the day. There he is right there. Yeah. Look at that good-looking guy, Dave Harding from Orlando, Florida, doing the color for the radio network. And he said, when I was there, we hated Virginia more than we hated North Carolina.
Stop.
That's what he said.
He and David Shoemate on the call. Kyer on third down. And Duke's going to try and kick. Drew Jordan to stop, and looks like a Blue Devil. Trayvon McSwain shaking up.
These injuries just piling up, and it's part of it this time of the year. That's why you got to have some depth on these football teams. And Sarah Nord, who was the top defensive tackle in there for Duke.
The guy on the left is Hap Zarzer, who has been at Duke a long time, and he runs sports medicine here for the Blue Devils. And I'll tell you this, James, there's some years when you're that guy, you need a raise. Hap Zarzer is a guy who's dealt with a ton this year for David Cutcliffe's team. 37-yard try for Delaney. Kick away, and it is good. So Virginia answers the Duke touchdown with Delaney's first field goal of the day, his 4th of the year. 10-point lead for the Cavaliers when we come back. ACC All Access coming up. Your half-hour look to around the ACC. There's a team on the move, and it's Pitt Volleyball. Jeff Fischel tells you all about the Panthers' success this fall. Check local listings on your regional sports network. Delaney over the field goal. 10-point lead for the Cavaliers, and there'll be no return for Duke. So the Blue Devils will scrimmage from their 25 in a 17-7 game with 6:45 to play. And here's Daniel Jones coming off his 9th touchdown pass of the year earlier in the half. There's the day for DJ.
9 of 17, and what could be, should be, what about 14 for 17? He's been on target with most of those throws. He's had way too many drops in the first half. Need to keep it clean, hold on to this football in the second half, and put together some drives and get a stop defensively.
A little short field toss here to the boundary. Deion Jackson gets 4, and then a flag will be thrown on Bryce Hall. A little extra on that. And Jeff McConaughey, the penalty.
After the play is over, personal foul, late hit out of bounds. Defense number 34, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Good job by Blunt to fill, and then just keeps it going in the extra shove, a little bit extra. You got the right kind of extra from Bryce Hall last week against Miami, running down the Miami running back from his backside corner spot. That's not the kind of extra that you want, helping out on this drive here for Daniel Jones and company.
Jones, quick throw behind Lloyd, incomplete. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Daniel Jones fielded the question yesterday when we met with him about the struggles against Virginia in a very matter-of-fact, James, in a way that, to be honest with you, I'm more impressed with him. He said, hey, look, bottom line is I haven't played very well against Virginia. We've got to play well, yes, but I haven't played well. He's trying to reset here in the second half. There's Ramming on the far side. It's a long throw from the big quarterback from Charlotte. It'll be 3rd down and about 8 coming up for the Blue Devils.
Well, in one thing that Coach Cutcliffe said is, I've been watching him this week because he can't try to do too much. And he really hasn't tried to do too much, maybe with the exception of the interception to Thornhill. Let's see if he can do enough to stay on the field here on 3rd and 8.
Jones looks, now going to cut it loose. Lloyd the catch. No, broken up. Bryce Hall was right there. Hall is starting to become a problem in the ACC for opponents, isn't he, James?
Well, you're making up for that extracurricular there, the shove out of bounds and breaking that ball up. But here's another 50-50 ball. This is a 50-50 ball, and this is the fight, and this is the toughness that I talked about throughout the first half. Come back and man up and get that ball. Rip it away. Who wants it more? Bryce Hall answered that right there. They get off the field and forcing another punt.
Two returners again. Chuck Davis and Tavares Kelly are there. The ball almost got blocked. And with the fair catch, and then Jackson tried to slow his momentum, but still crashed into Davis after the fair catch. So there'll be kick-catch interference after a 34-yard punt, and it'll be on the young freshman Javon Jackson from Sandy Creek High School in Tyrone, Georgia.
Personal foul, late hit, kicking team number 2, hitting a fair catching player, 15 yards, first down, timeout.
So there you go. Under 6 to go now. We're in the third. Virginia gets a post-kick penalty. 15 yards up the 54 for Virginia. First down throw and low for Zacchaeus. Second and the full coming up. Singleton was there for Duke. What do you think? How do you think Chuck Davis did there? That was Premier League soccer like.
That was.
Yeah.
That was.
Looked like a Tottenham Hotspur West Ham battle, maybe. You'd give him a side card for that one, wouldn't you, Bates?
I think so, yeah. He'll get residuals every time this game is replayed.
How's that check work? Second down.
Can they put back-to-back good plays together defensively now, Duke?
Sharp's coming to the ball game with Perkins, who dumps to Zacchaeus. Olamide has not had the explosive play today, but he's had that kind of play.
Yeah, right. And again, here's one. It should be stopped for a gain of 1 or 2. All right, you're closing on them, break down, but you can't overrun. You got to keep that leverage. You got to keep that inside shoulder, your target point of the back. Use that sideline as a helper. Come under control, let him gain 2 or 3, and that's a pretty big completion there for the career of Olamide Zacchaeus. It may not be the explosive, but it's a big number.
And drop that one. First down throw incomplete. Suffice it to say that he's going to have the kind of career that a few years from now, when you're asked a trivia question about, the only player in Virginia history to do X and Y, the answer might be Olamide Zacchaeus. In fact, it's got a real good chance to be Olamide Zacchaeus.
Right.
I mean, he's top 6 in career touchdown catches and just an amazing, versatile football player in Charlottesville.
Great kid, too. We've had some outstanding visits with him.
Sharp and Atkins in the backfield with Perkins on second and the full 10. Here's Perkins. Stiff arm there and first down. Really good play by Bryce Perkins. Got 11 yards and a stiff arm on Leonard Johnson.
Leonard Johnson's, he's not a small guy. He's a defensive back, but he's a safety. Watch Leonard Johnson right here. Boom. He's even got the right angle. Steps inside, so he falls for a little bit of a fake, and then comes the power. So there's the finesse, there's the shake, but then there's also the power to keep him off. Again, another Cavalier that should have been dropped well short of the sticks. Instead, it's a first down.
Here's Perkins. And the pitch, and this is Zacchaeus. Taken down out of bounds into the Duke bench around the 37-yard line. Boy, Robert Anaya is drawing him up on the grease board over there today, James.
And you know what? It's as a whole, it's this football team. We talked about it earlier. Defensively, how they like to come in and confuse. They like to bring guys from different angles, some zone dog blitzes, and now we're bringing 3. Now we're dropping these defensive linemen. And you really get that sense the way Robert Anaya has called this offensive game. It's what are they going to throw at us next?
Yep.
And when you got a quarterback that can do a whole heck of a lot, it sure makes things like that easy.
This is a Perkins keeper. And depending on the spot here, Tangelo shoved him out of bounds, and Mark is inside the 35. Close to a first down.
But it's getting to the point now to where it's too much. You see Tangelo giving chase, missing the tackle, flatten out. Okay, hey, I'm not going to make this stop. we've learned at this point he's too quick for us. I'm not going to make this stop for a 1-yard loss. I'm going to have to flatten out, take the proper angle, and make this stop for a 2-yard gain. It's time to admit that this is a pretty good quarterback and a fast quarterback when he runs the ball.
Looping ball, batted in the air and incomplete. Dubois, the intended receiver. Michael Carter, the second, sophomore who missed a couple of ball games in there to break it up.
Carter had the knee problem earlier when he missed those ball games. An excellent job. And this time he snaps that head around, defends, watches those eyes of the receiver when they get big.
That's a header.
Hit him right in the head. We've got a lot of soccer references in this broadcast here today.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right.
Got a header. Had to go down. A guy go down looking for a yellow card back earlier on the punt return. Tavares Kelly and Zacchaeus are on the same side of the field. Top of your screen here. Perkins, quick throw. That's Zacchaeus inside for another catch. And that's 8 catches today for Olamide Zacchaeus. Now, you played in the fun and gun, right? Some of the Virginia stuff's got fun and gun to it, right? The short throws put the guys in space.
Or some air raid, too. I mean, there's a lot of air raid that you're seeing right here. And that makes sense because that's Robert and I has a lot of that in his background as well. Days in Lubbock, Texas.
Guns up, yeah. Too bad. 3rd and short here now for Virginia. Duke bringing pressure. Nice throw in the flat. That's the tight end, Evan Butts. First catch for the big tight end who had 1 grab last week against Miami.
The field goal that they got here in the second half was a 16-play drive.
That's right.
I mean, they continue to just own this football. 9 plays now on this drive. There's a little bit of a hook that could have been called for a hold there on Giles Harris. There's the fight to get that extra yard and try to get that first down, and they got it.
Yep, across the way you see the hand go up from Jeff McConaughey. Virginia, in some ways, James, has tempoed this game exactly where they wanted. Even though they gave up the big pass from Jones to Taylor for the touchdown, they tempoed it. It's got 16 plays. This is, headed for another double-figure possession. Here's Perkins now just dancing around, and finally the Blue Devils will get to him. Jordan was the first guy there, dropping him for a yard loss, and then Taj Rice, a young freshman, they're excited about here in Durham, made the play.
Everybody staying in those lanes, continuing to fight. See, when they keep them there hemmed up, they're okay. When you let them slip outside, that's when it all goes out the window. Hey, Wes, I want to hear you. If you call Jake Bobo's name, the receiver, freshman receiver, I want to hear you call him an old freshman because it's always a young freshman.
Yes, yeah,
but we finally got an older freshman. All right?
Yes, we do. And there's
timeout, Virginia.
There's a Virginia timeout because Jake Bobo's, what, 20 years old?
He's 20.
Yeah, 20-year-old freshman. So
that'll be fun. Confetti.
Well, Bryce Perkins and Virginia have run 25 more plays than Duke today, and a lot of it has been on the arm and leg of number 3.
Well, leading the charge, and it's no secret when you look at this football team who the best player on the team is, but he's also the most consistent. And there's so much to be said about a guy that leads with consistency, and you know exactly what to expect from it. Now, as they go down this home stretch here, the rest of this football game here, I mean, this game is far from over. There's a lot of football left to be played. Duke has to find a way to stop him, but it's a Virginia team that you want to see some of these other guys, the Joe Reeds and the Tavares Kelly, get involved, but it's kind of hard to argue with the record when you're having so much success running the football and then letting your quarterback just take over.
222 yards of total offense today for Perkins, and here's a throw. Dubois cannot hang on, incomplete. Brandon Feimster was in coverage for the Blue Devils.
Good job by Feimster. Fight him off, use that sidelines. There's nowhere to go. Excellent job. Excellent job. They're fighting back and forth. Good. No flag on the hands by both those guys. You run them out of room. That's why it's so important to make sure that your alignment as a receiver, you give that quarterback a chance. Give yourself a chance. Some cushion over there as you run those routes. Good job by Feimster's getting a lot of playing time now, the junior.
3 receivers in the set on 3rd and 11. Perkins up in the pocket. Cuts it loose and overthrows Atkins.
Good job there by Gagnon.
Yep.
Humphrey's back up in there and excellent coverage.
James, we haven't seen Jordan Ellis at all for Virginia here in the second half. And remember, he left the field late in that first half for Bronco Mendenhall's team. And now here's Delaney to try a 42-yarder. He's hit from 37. He's missed from 51 and 33 today. And that kick is good. Boy, he has bounced back nicely, hasn't he? Brian Delaney. Tigers and Pack go at about 3:30 at Frank Howard Field at Memorial Stadium. And there'll be no return of the kick by
offensive line. Even though it's that big matchup, those great defensive linemen, the great defense for Clemson, I think that NC State's offensive line is the best in this conference. I think they've gotten better every week.
Jones, a keeper to start the drive, and Daniel stretches toward the 37 and a first down.
Finley, we've seen him there live, and just an incredible day. Beautifully thrown football throughout the day against BC, and there's Trevor Lawrence and his numbers, and just both very efficient. And they've got a lot of weapons around them to send it off too.
Deion Jackson, as we approach the final minute of the third, will pick up about 4 on first down as we work our way toward the tail end of the third.
You know, and one thing that NC State has going for him, Etienne, is, I mean, he's a world beater. He's great.
Yep.
And that was a big difference early on when we had Georgia State there at NC State. Like, gosh, is their running game good enough? It wasn't then, but I think it is now because they've got the 1-2 punch of Gillespie and Person.
Jones going to take the deep shot, looking for Lloyd again, and Hall got under it and picked it. Bryce Hall, the interception for the Cavaliers at the 18. Lloyd was the intended receiver. Bryce Hall comes away with the interception.
And look at him celebrate with their guy, taking fake selfies and all. How about the fight of Bryce Hall? To fight to get back into position, to make sure, you see with that front side hand, he's making sure he doesn't lose contact with that body. Sometimes you can spread out too much and those guys can come back underneath you, making sure he doesn't lose contact with it. But look at him, stride for stride, snap that head around, perfect position. I mean, that's outstanding coaching by this Virginia defense. They have really been impressive the last couple weeks.
Ball at the 18 for Mendenhall's team. Now with a 13-point lead. Perkins will just drop down. Back at the 16, it'll be a loss of 2. Didn't have anything there. Duke really clogged the lines against Bryce Perkins.
Yeah, I don't think that, remember, Ellis isn't in there as his starter, and the big dog in the backfield, so some of the new guys not on the same page with their quarterback to end that quarter.
Well, Virginia trying to stay in the hunt in the ACC. A win here today puts the Cavaliers in a group with Miami, with Virginia Tech, and of course with Pittsburgh, who has the week off. And so far through 3 quarters, Bronco Mendenhall's 3rd edition of the Cavaliers is up to the challenge today, looking for their 4th straight win against Duke. We're back with the final 15 from Wallace Wade in a moment.
On Daniel Jones just moments ago. Boy, could Duke use a big turnover here.
Perkins to the perimeter, and a quick throw, Zacchaeus. That'll be ahead of the line of scrimmage, I believe, again. Second time I think Bryce Perkins has been flagged for that.
5-yard penalty from the spot of the pass. Loss it down, 3rd down.
So it'll be 2nd down, or 3rd down rather, and going to be in the neighborhood of about 14, I think.
Well, when they say you can do it all, we literally, you know, it's just almost anything within the rules anyway, right? Bronco Mendenhall, that's twice today. You got 3rd and 14 now, and here's your chance. Keep them in front. You have to keep them in front. Get off of the field. Get it back in the hands of your offense.
And Kyle nowhere. Boy, got tattooed by Rumpf. Tell you what, Chris Rumpf, who was the star in Atlanta last week, and then this week goes right back to 3rd-string defensive end. I think he's going to get some more reps, James.
Well, he's a little bit undersized. Here he's going to come in from the other side, but if you're not going to put a body on him, it doesn't matter. And, you know, he's just got a good football sense. He grew up around the game with his dad as a coach. His dad was at Florida last year, and now he's the co-defensive coordinator for the Tennessee Volunteers.
Well, his dad's a good player now, South Carolina. Good player. Lester Coleman to punt, 2nd 3 and out for the Blue Devils defensively today. Little wobbly kick toward Ramming. TJ will play it on the scoop at the 35. And hurdle out of bounds. Skip it, if you will, at the 39.5, and that's where Duke's going to get started. 50-yard punt. Had a little bounce to it. Duke trails by 13. We'll see what the Blue Devils have. James, and this historic venue of college football has really been brushed up nice, hasn't it?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's perfect. Right in the shadow there of the indoor. It's a great spot to be on campus. A beautiful campus, especially this time of year.
Jones fires and caught, and that's Lloyd. He'll be shy of the first down. The forward progress to only about the 47. First catch of the day for Jonathan Lloyd. It'll be 2nd down, and Duke's got a sense of urgency now, down 2 scores. Deion Jackson playing for the injured Britton Brown, and boy, Snowden. Boy, he's been good again today, James. Charles Snowden's fun to watch. 6'7", great basketball player coming out of Silver Spring, Maryland.
He just has a real knack for the game, especially when you go back and look at the fact that he didn't play a heck of a lot of football before coming to Virginia. Also, again, hats off to Blunt. Good job filling there from his safety spot to get outside.
Virginia again, only one guy with a hand on the ground is Jones. Throws and ramming the catch, falling down. That'll be a first down at the Cavalier 48 with Brent Nelson trailing. 5th catch of the day for TJ Ramming.
It came smoking in there. Look at him break that route off. And he, you know, still bobbling it at the very end. It's been an adventure from the pass catchers throughout the day for David Cutcliffe's crew. They're going to have to hang on to a couple big ones here down the stretch. They want to fight their way back in this.
Jones tried to get it here to the near side to Taylor, who had the touchdown catch in the 3rd, but Bryce Hall, who had an interception earlier, having none of it.
Look at Bryce Hall, just reading that out and then recovering. You know, it's one thing to read it, but what can you do? Are you a good enough athlete to close ground, knock it away? Goes with that front side hand. You know, I mean, interceptions, turnovers can be infectious, and sometimes you get a little bit too greedy to go get one. Smart choice there to just knock it away and force a 2nd down rather than go for the pick and give up a big play.
4 receivers, and that's the big tight end, Helm. It'll be 3rd and about halfway or more.
Job by Helm to hang on to that one. Brenton Nelson over there. I think earlier I called him Blunt, gave Blunt credit for the run fill, but that was Nelson. Here you go, 3rd down now. Medium.
Jones going to keep it. First down, dumped over at the 35. Thornhill tripped him up, 9-yard run.
Doing his best, Bryce Perkins. We haven't seen a whole lot of that today from Daniel Jones. When we have seen it, it's worked just fine for David Cutcliffe in this offense, keeping it alive right now. It's really been the only running game that Duke has had, unfortunately.
Yep. Like Gray was trying to help Jones out with some of the coverage, and instead here's Jackson leaking out into the flat. He'll get a first down. Out of bounds at the 23. This is one of Duke's best possessions of the day, James, in terms of end-to-end football.
Oh, without a doubt. So Deion Jackson, who was Britton Brown's backup, now running back, but, you know, he feels comfortable outside. He was a wide receiver in high school until his senior year, so he's got some good hands. They take advantage of it, slip him out there, and another first down. Starting to march down the field still with plenty of time in this football game.
Jones. Oh, they're going to slide it. Ramming going to throw. Open is. Touchdown, Copenhagen. Copenhagen, the touchdown catch on the ramming throw.
It was a beauty, too. So a little misdirection, the reverse, and ramming the lefty took all kinds of time to get set up for it, but when he finally delivered, he lays it in there beautifully. A double catch there by Copenhagen. Able to secure it, though, before he heads out of bounds. Oh, what a big-time play. Duke refusing to hang it up and sticking around here trying to fight this one up and trying to go within a touchdown of taking the lead now.
Joey Blunt is shaken up for Virginia. 22-yard touchdown pass. TJ ramming to the redshirt senior from California, Davis Copenhagen.
Mendenhall's defense, you know, they weren't badly burnt, but taking enough time. And here's another look. And hold on now. Wow. It's called a touchdown on the field. It's called a touchdown on the field, and he seemed to have it pinned to his body with one hand as he went out and made that football move. And I think even if, which they are looking at it, I think that stays, but it was a little bit closer than I thought.
The field is under further review.
They're going to review this.
Yep. You know, the throw had to be perfect because ramming took enough time to where he let those defenders catch up. So he had no choice. He no longer had the option of just lasering it in there. He had to throw a dime. He did. Now let's take a look at this review and see.
Well, the 11th year coach of the Blue Devils, who grew up on the outskirts of Birmingham, he's got the ball and a foot down, but does he have control? Here you go. This is the one you were talking about, right?
All right, so let's see. Wes, that's a coin toss. I think the only thing Duke may have going for him is the fact that it was ruled a touchdown on the field.
Yep.
Because that left foot.
They called it a touchdown.
Okay. Well, the left foot is the first foot, I think, to come down when he finally has it secure, when you're certain that it is secure. But it's ruled a touchdown on the field, and it's not enough evidence to turn it back over.
Colin Wareham, the point after. And it's good. Well, we walked ourselves into one. 10:46 to go. Picks up a big third down on a 9-yard run. Deion Jackson helps him with a catch out of the backfield. And then a little gadgetry for the TD, James.
Yeah, looky here, see? It was interesting at the end. They call it a touchdown, a catch. Copenhagen cameraman takes a big lick into the bushes. He's okay. We checked on him afterwards, and Duke feeling pretty okay right now with 10:46 left to play, trailing just 6. It was a 14-0 halftime lead, and certainly felt like a whole lot more than that.
No return for Reed. Virginia will scrimmage from his 25. And how about our Toyota tweet of the week from, this actually happened last summer, but fairly appropriate at this juncture, I think, in the ball game. And this is David Cutcliffe with one of his 6 grandsons at the beach. It's Mr. Incredible.
Yeah, he loves Halloween. He loves dressing up this time of year. Coach Cut.
How about that?
That's a pretty nice Mr. Incredible outfit. I'm jealous.
Somehow I knew you would be. So Duke has cut it to a 6-point game. And here's Perkins and the Cavaliers with Atkins on the sweep. He's got 5, he's got 10, make it 12 for Lamont Atkins. Singleton trips him up. Good hard run by the sophomore Atkins, who's getting as much playing time as he's seen since really earlier in the year against Richmond in the opener of the Cavalier campaign.
Well, Sharp does an excellent job of leading the way here. Chris Sharp, the tailback, to go out there and block. It looked like Feimster on the edge. Somebody's got to come up and just go meet someone with some aggressiveness, some force. Turn it back.
Here's Kyer. Boy, into a stack of Blue Devils and pick up about 2 or 3. McSwain, the tackle. Keep an eye on the clock. There's still plenty of time left. You see Duke's got all 3 timeouts. It's a 6-point game. Blue Devils 2 touchdowns here in the second half after James just really not being able to get out of their own way. Thanks in part to what Virginia was doing, though. Give the Cavaliers credit the first 30 minutes. Second down 8. Kyer, a couple there. It'll be third and about 6. Victor Dimukeji, Baltimore sophomore on the tackle. Boy, if you're Virginia, you do not want to give this back. On about 5 snaps.
Back-to-back run plays, and for the first time, it's a defense inside that's stiffened. Now you've got yourself a 3rd down and a long 6, it looks like. You've got to concentrate on number 3. Do not let him break you right here.
Perkins, cross the middle, broken up. Leonard Johnson, the strike safety, got a hand in there. And Virginia has to punt.
What a play by the redshirt freshman. Coming underneath, they bring the pressure. There was protection. There was time for Perkins. Thought he had his guy, but Johnson, an excellent break. A guy who's got the clean and squat defensive back record, not just for the current players, but all time at Duke, and he's a redshirt freshman.
Yeah.
What a play. Offense is going to get another chance here.
Coleman drives one at ramming. TJ will field it, step out of bounds around the 12.
Great punt.
Yep, you bet it.
Punting it to a dangerous guy. You pin him, nowhere to go. If we're going to get hurt, it's not going to be TJ ramming on a punt return. A 47-yard punt and a Duke team that's starting to wake up in the home stretch. And they found that out the hard way last year. And that's why that Georgia Tech win on the road last weekend was so big after the Virginia Tech loss, because it was right about that time they went on a 6-game losing streak last year. For the big win at the end of the year against Wake.
Jones, first down throw, Taylor the catch. And that'll be a first down for the Blue Devils out to the 13. Worst starting position for Duke today. 5th catch for the Floridian Chris Taylor of 11 yards.
Daniel Jones, cool and calm, and they're standing in there strong as the pocket starts to collapse, delivering a strike on first down.
Jones. Boy, Cavaliers got there. That was Peace again. It'll be a sack for Peace. It'll be his 2nd of the day.
And, you know, look at the hustle. Dipping that pad, getting low, and that's an effort. That's an effort sack. Just wanting it more, getting around the edge, and a good job by Jones of not losing that football, too. Just eat it. Live to play 2nd down now.
Sun's coming out here at Wallace Wade Stadium as Jones will be taken down that time. Hand back and Alonzo. Combined on the top for the Cavaliers. And now 3rd and very long.
Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Everybody staying in those lanes. Good coverage down the field. 14 yards now to go. Do not throw an interception. You can still punt it away. Still plenty of time.
Jones will be sacked a 3rd time. Peace was back there. Snowden was back there. Elliott Brown got in the backfield. What a stand by Virginia.
Well, and to watch the sidelines of Virginia is as much fun as it is to watch these guys make plays on the field. I mean, it's a team that's hunting together right now. Look at all the white jerseys. Daniel Jones holding on to the football, but the damage is done. Look how far they go backwards after the first down pickup to start the drive. Now they'll punt out of their own end zone, and Virginia will have the ball back.
Again, two safeties in the return spot, Kelly and Davis, and this will be Tavares Kelly. Tavares Kelly inside the 30 to the 28. And the little guy from Fort Lauderdale came within a whisker of housing this. My goodness. Sometimes you might be better kicking it in the seats. Virginia, great punt return by Tavares Kelly, Bates.
Well, Kelly made a guy miss, and you know, and it's that team effort that we've talked about throughout from this Virginia squad, and it's showing up on special teams there. Guys staying on their blocks, and Kelly making one guy miss and then getting to the edge and using his speed.
PK Kier, not much. A yard, maybe two. Xander Gagnon, who's spelled the injured Ben Humphreys on the stop. Boy, the Virginia defense was really good the last possession.
Well, they're really good in an offensive line that was really poor. I mean, you know, you want to win this football game, you want to move to 6-1. Block somebody, stay on somebody, get some nastiness to you. You can't let guys just run free. And not just one guy here and there. I mean, a couple times, it's the whole house. It's really been an offensive line that's been hot and cold.
Zacchaeus, another catch inside the 25, a couple of yards to the 24. That's his 9th reception of the day. Halamade has got about 60 yards on 9 catches. And now it's going to be 3rd and about 5. For Mendenhall's team.
Big play coming right here, and it's also big. Go back, you know, Delaney missed his first try after having the great big night against Miami in that win last Saturday night. But for him to come back and hit those last two, it's been huge for this football team. So they can count on him here if they get stuck.
Perkins the throw, Zacchaeus the catch, his 10th, and it'll be enough for the first down at the 16.
Wow, well, it won't matter right here. I mean, Zacchaeus running that route at the sticks. Defensively, where are they trying to go? Where do they want to get? You've got a heads-up football play defensively. You've just got to know what they're trying to do to you. There's so much going on in the mind of these football players, offense and defensively. But first things first, whittle it down and make it simple. What are they trying to do? Get a first down. It's 3rd down. This is their last chance. Where are they going to run those routes? Where are they going to break them off at? We've got to tighten up.
Season high catch number for Zacchaeus. He had 12 against Indiana in 2017. Perkins in trouble, eludes the sack on the blitz. Now going to cut it loose. End zone. Touchdown. Evan Butts, the tight end. What a throw. What a catch.
Well, what a play to, I mean, how many times we see that and it's disastrous for a quarterback. That right there in a nutshell is who you've got running the show for Virginia. Just eyes in the back of his head. He's about to just get leveled, get splattered, and that ball may come out. As Waters comes back there on the blitz, and fans. Wow. And still, it's, you know, you can't see him right here, but he's probably not even sweating. Everything is just so cool and so natural with Bryce Perkins. I'm not sure, what are they looking at here? Do we know? Wow.
Across his body.
While he's moving, you know, it's a good job by Butts, who defenses have made sure they've tried to take him away. Now they'll take a look, obviously a very important call. Ruled a touchdown on the field, and that's going to stay a touchdown because not only was it secure, but it landed on the other arm. So that should be an easy one. Just setting up shop there in the end zone all alone. And, you know, it's one thing to make the guy miss, and then to have the presence of mind to just keep that play going, rather than just eating it. Hey, I dodged a bullet there. Let me kind of be safe and take a knee right here. I mean, this guy's he's a player. He is fun to watch. Well, I guess unless you're a Duke Blue Devil fan or any of these other teams that have to play against him and his football squad the rest of the way out. Which, by the way, they do hang on here.
Further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
So it is a touchdown. James, you bring up an interesting point. We're going to get the point after here from, oh, Virginia's going to go for 2 here. They're going to go by the card.
Well, that way, if you've got the touchdown and a field goal from Duke, all they can do is tie.
So here's the 2-point try to and make it a 2-score or 14-point game. 2 touchdowns. There's Zacchaeus moving to the slot. Sharp in the backfield with Perkins. And Alameda stretches out and pulls it in for 2 points. So Perkins and Zacchaeus combine on the 2-point play, and Virginia's lead is 2 touchdowns.
Zacchaeus, he wants to throw the big man Nelson up, and how about this throw where only Zacchaeus can catch it, and it is secure, and it's absolutely across the plane, so it's a great call down on the field. And it's a 2-point conversion, so now it'll take a touchdown and a field goal and a stop in the middle of that, or an onside kick to tie it up.
All right, now, you just went to the...
I beg your pardon, though. It's 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. All right, you just mentioned this, and we're going to run this here because now a win today at Bronco Mendenhall, the stakes are going to get higher every Saturday. Next Saturday, Chapel Hill. Carolina visits Scott Stadium. The following weekend, Pittsburgh. And by the way, James, that's a Friday night ditty in Charlottesville.
Back in Charlottesville. We actually had that game a couple years ago, and it was a great game.
Yep.
Dogfight. But they'll be favored in all these games until they hit Virginia Tech.
Yep.
And if they keep playing like they are, that may be a coin toss.
By the way, it's been 14 years since they've beaten Virginia Tech.
Wow. You know, and then, you know who knows it? All these guys in the white jerseys here today.
Right.
Bronco Mendenhall reminds them of it. Reminds them of, you know, going to a bowl game. Just so big for them to finally make a bowl game, make it to back-to-back bowl games, which they hadn't done in so long. They're checking off that list as they go, and it's the hard work is paying off.
Right. So now with under 4 to go, Daniel Jones and the Blue Devils cannot wait around. They'll have to get it and go here. Duke has all 3 timeouts. Jones on first down rips it to the middle of the field, and the catch by Copenhaver, who had the touchdown earlier from ramming for the first down. And Duke will get right up on the line here. And they release 4 into the pattern. They'll take the shot for Taylor and broken up by Hall. Bryce Hall, who's played a pretty stingy corner today, but again, has also backed him up in covering ground today, James.
Well, Nick Howell, as defensive coordinator, told us that he's never seen anyone as invested as Bryce Hall. He's a heck of a player. He's really disciplined and fun to watch.
Big lick there. Taylor got turned around by Hall, and then your man Zandier ran downhill. And Taylor will have to come out of the ball game for Duke.
Gosh, that was a violent hit, and it was not only the lick from Zandier, but the head hitting the ground. Hopefully Taylor's okay, and you know what? They're going to stop it because they're going to put a targeting maybe on this with Zandier, and unless yeah, it's
wow,
and that would hurt. I mean, look, we've got 3:14 left in this game, and he'd be out
first half of next week if it stands. You're right. If they.
So he's definitely defenseless, and if they stop the game, it's Zane Zandier's going to be ejected.
Yeah,
that's the rule.
And first half of next week, James.
Exactly.
Against Carolina. Now, Virginia has lost Jordan back for the time being. They're hoping to get him back, their linebacker, but and the crowd here getting a look at it on the video board at the open end of the horseshoe.
You know, and it's, you know, on Zandier's behalf, if he motors down and even tries to lead with his shoulder, it looks like. You see, and it's, he tried to kind of turn his body.
After further review, there is no targeting on the play. Third down.
Okay. Well, you know, that's such a tough call, and there's a happy 33. You know, and I don't know if it's going to make that much of a difference in this game, and so I don't feel bad by saying good. You know, it's I hate it because it's just guys just going playing football. I seriously doubt anybody wants to hurt someone's brain out there, but sometimes it's just part of it.
Jones trying to find room on the called draw, or called run, I will tell you there. And if you got to the 49, that's enough for the first down. Clock continues to move inside 3 minutes.
You know, there's a lot of complaints that are thrown out there with the guys in the replay booth, and you don't hear them get patted on the back that much, but I think that's one it's good to see him not call it. You know, I mean, and maybe it's just the linebacker, maybe it's just the defensive guy talking up here, but gosh, you know, I was already starting to feel bad for the guy, and he wasn't even out of the game yet.
They're bringing the chains for the measurement of the first down. Well, just getting ready to start down at Clemson. Number 3 Clemson, number 16 NC State, and also at this hour at Doak Campbell Stadium is Florida State and Wake Forest in the Atlantic Division. Those 2 ball games. And James, they're working their way toward the end at the Carrier Dome. 8.5 minutes to go up there. North Carolina leads Syracuse by a touchdown. Jones in trouble. Sacked. Eli Handback. Big fella. In his 30th career start, drops Jones for a 7-yard loss.
Well, the series before you had 1, 2, 3 in a row, and here's Big Handback just coming free. 2nd and 17 now.
Copenhaver near midfield, threw right in the traffic with the umpire, and Devontae Cross converted from the offensive side of the ball.
As this clock starts to really whittle down and tick away, it's, you know, you almost wonder, are they a little bit gun shy of that deep ball now, because the 2 interceptions there thrown by Jones today.
Another quick throw on the perimeter, and that's Lloyd, and he cannot twist out of the tackle of Darius Bratton, playing the field corner for Virginia. Minute 45 to go.
Blue Devils still with 3 timeouts. Got to get something going here.
Bronco Mendenhall trying to get his 3rd road win in 3 years in the ACC, James. Batted away by Bratton on 4th down. And by the way, all 3 wins have come here in the Triangle of North Carolina. Last year in Chapel Hill, and now this will be the 2nd at Wallace Wade Stadium. Duke's got 3 timeouts and 1:28 to go, and the Blue Devils give it back on downs.
This is a heck of a quarterback that David Cutcliffe has, and this Virginia defense, time and time again, just won this battle. I mean, they turned him away every opportunity they got. I mean, just in the technique in the play. This is a well-coached defense. We talked about it off the top. Bronco Mendenhall is a defensive guy through and through. You know, but these assistants, they're on this staff. Nick Howe, Kelly Papinga, we've mentioned. It's a well-coached bunch. Nick Soto. Let me make sure I get all those other guys here. Defensively for this football team, and there's one play that blemish on the day there for the Floridian from Daniel Jones, and here's the razzle-dazzle throw to Copenhaver from ramming as Duke starts to get a little bit little bit going. But then Bryce Perkins doing his best Bryce Perkins. Man, magic man. I mean, it's everybody in this stadium thought it's not whether he's going to get sacked or not, it's whether he's going to hang on to the football. And it almost moved in slow motion.
How about, too, the number 12 red zone defense in the ACC held Duke to 0 trips to the red zone.
Wow.
Yeah. And limited the vertical game. Goes really beyond the throw to Taylor. Duke did not do much in the vertical game today.
Shane Hunter, let me throw that one name out there too, coaching those inside linebackers, Zane Deere and company. So yeah, defensively, this is a tough football team, and it's, you know, it goes without saying you've got one of the most dynamic players in college football, and Bryce Perkins running the show on the other side of the ball.
Alabama. Wow. So
wow.
But the Pack and Tigers have played 2 really good ones the last 2 years.
You know what? I watch some of these guys, the hard work they put in and how hard they hit. Yeah. It's not often that I'm really jealous anymore.
But you're jealous today.
You know what I'm most jealous of?
What?
Of that NC State team getting on that bus and going into enemy territory. I mean, like, if we could get I've got chills right now. Just the thought of you and your brothers that you've worked so hard with to play in games like this. It's all you've ever dreamed about.
Right.
And as much as I enjoyed playing in the swamp, for Coach Collins, who's down there on the sidelines with Duke today, my linebacker coach, it was even better. And I hate to admit it, you know, your home fans are great, but to go on the road and to do that, to go down and just shut up a stadium.
Well, you talk about the graphic. How about this? This is a quick look back. 1990, Scott Sisson, the youngster with the educated toe. Georgia Tech beat #1 Virginia 41-38. Florida State, Virginia, 93. Carolina, Florida State at Kenan Stadium in 97. Clemson, Florida State in 13. Remember, that was Taj Boyd intercepted first play. Jameis Winston to Kelvin Benjamin on the laser. And then today, NC State and Clemson. Should be fun to watch the Tigers and Pack get it on at Frank Howard Field. 4th and 2. And Lester Coleman is going to punt on a 10-man rush and just kick it in the end zone. Almost kicked it through the uprights. So Duke will get the ball at its 20 with 65 seconds left, and the Cavaliers here, James, 5-2. After today, they'll be 3-1 in the ACC. And by the way, they had lost 6 straight road games and 9 of their last 11. Remember, we told you the win at Chapel Hill last year? That was their last road win, including the bowl game. That was 6 straight away from Scott Stadium. Which, by the way, next Saturday should be plenty of fun for a 12:20 start with Carolina and Virginia. Those two, they got a little bit of a history.
Zandier's still coming on. He gave Daniel Jones another hit right as he threw the football, and then running his yapper afterwards.
Jones, quick throw, ramming, took a huge lick. And that was Thornhill out about the 37, 38-yard line, but TJ held on.
Wow, what a nice catch. That's tough. He knows he's going to get hit. Knows he's going to get hit. How many times this year have we seen guys, I don't know that I want to hang on to this one. Might as well hang on.
Grabbing, dropped that one right in front of Brenton Nelson, who was there in coverage for Virginia.
I mean, gosh, you turn and make a guy miss, you go score, and you got a chance. You got to hang. There are way too many drops today. Way too many drops today for Duke.
Jones, and looked like he was trying to go back down the backside toward Damon Filial Johnson, a redshirt freshman from Pensacola.
You know, it's what do you have to lose? You're not going to. You got to put it in the end zone right now. So you throw it down the football field.
Here's Jones working against Zandier, and he will reach out of bounds. The clock will stop with 27 seconds left at the 44. Gain of 6. It'll be 4th and 4 for the Blue Devils.
You know, that's, I know I've talked 33 up quite a bit, but you know, it's a sophomore and it's not always easy. Even though he's not Bryce Perkins, Daniel Jones he's dangerous in the open field. It's a nice open field tackle.
There's Noah Gray, a first down. Yeah, the linebacking play for Virginia, and James, that's without Jordan Mack now, who we saw get hurt in the Louisville game. As we said earlier, they hope to get him back, but if they do, it'll be later in the year. Jones, another throw middle of the field, and that's Jake Bobo, the 20-year-old freshman.
An old freshman.
Yeah. And Duke out of timeouts. They will spike the ball, and they're going to put a couple seconds back on this, I think. Jeff McConaughey, the official. Bronco Mendenhall saying it's all 0 on the board there, fellas.
Please reset the game clock to 1 second. 1 second on the game clock. Thank you.
Big win for Virginia, Bates. No way around it, is there? Cavaliers are in this thing now.
Well, if I'm a Cavalier fan, I'm as happy as can be with the way my football team's played. Huge win.
Ball game ends on the batted pass. Virginia 5-2, 3-1 in the ACC. After